Have y'all ever wondered what registered dietitians would recommend as the best cereal? If so, watch and we'll tell you at the end of this video.
This is Grace and Leanne, and we're from Sprouting Appetites. We are registered dietitians.
And today we're going to talk to you guys about our Good, Better, Best series. We're going to focus on cereals today. So the way that we have organized this Good, Better, Best series is that there's some good products which we would say can fit into your diet, more so in moderation. This isn't something that we want to have all the time, but all foods can certainly fit. Better would be a better version of that product. So these are foods that you could include a little more frequently or maybe a larger portion. This is going to be a little bit better for your overall health. And then we have our best option. And this is what we would recommend as best case scenario. It's going to give you the most nutrition. It's going to fit within your diet well. And so that would be our end goal that we would want to get to have most all of the time. So for our good, better, best criteria,
first we look at fiber. So how much fiber is in the product? We want at least 3 grams per serving, but if you can get 5 grams per serving, that's even better.
Yeah, that's going to make it the best, right?
Next, we look at added sugar. That's something we want to limit in our intake. So under 8 grams per serving is good, and then the best is under 6 grams per serving.
Yeah. So then one other thing that we want to really make sure that we're watching is protein. So 3 to 5 grams of protein is best case scenario. The more protein you can have, the better. But one way that we can supplement this is adding some other things into that cereal if it falls into one of the good or the better categories. So some examples of that would be adding in some Greek yogurt because that's going to bring in some extra protein, or even sprinkling some nuts so that you get a little more protein too.
And then last, we'll look at the ingredients, and we'll be looking for if whole grain is listed as the first ingredient. And then we'll also be looking for minimal additions, so minimal artificial colors, flavors, and other additives that we want to try to limit as much as possible.
Yeah, because something that's important to both of us, especially with our families, is making sure that, we're limiting preservatives to have more of those whole foods. If some of these products have more preservatives, they may fall into that good category or better rather than best. So that's certainly something that we took into account here.
And if you're following along at home and you're want to follow as we do this and you want to see how we looked at all of this, you just flip around the box and look at the nutrition facts label. So that's the label where you can find all of this information. Whenever we're looking at a label, we also want to look at serving size and see what they're calling a serving size and compare it to what we're going to actually be eating.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, because there's a big difference between serving size versus portion size. So serving size is what the company kind of recommends for an appropriate serving, but it's based off of a 2,000 calorie diet. So if your child is the one eating this, their portion may be different than what the serving size may be. Or if you're in a larger body, your portion might be larger or different than what the serving size is. So that's when we would recommend talking with the dietitian, using a hand method or some type of portion control system to be able to find the appropriate portion for you.
Yes. And then all of these things will be right there on the label. You'll be able to see the fiber, the added sugar, the protein, and then the ingredient list right there on the label.
Yep. Absolutely. So now we're going to walk you guys through what kind of falls into each category for good, better, and best. So for our good cereal options, what we would classify as good would be things like Honey Nut Cheerios would fall into that. Say like Frosted Mini Wheats would fall into this. That's because they have still some good fiber. I mean, they are still whole grains. Honey Nut Cheerios are made from oats, which is a whole grain, and Frosted Mini Wheats are made from the wheat. However, they both contain a decent amount of added sugar, so that's why they're not going to be in that better or best category. So that was one of the reasons that we brought those down some. Anything else you wanted to add to that?
And then some of the ones in that category may also have some refined grains. So when
That's a
you
good
look
point.
at the full handout, you'll be able to see some of those options.
Yeah, absolutely. And then some of the better options would be like the original Cheerios. They're going to fit in the better category because, again, they have that whole grain from the oats, but they're lower in added sugar than the original Cheerios. Any others that you can think of for the better?
Raisin Bran.
Oh, that's good.
Wheaties.
Yeah, those are all great. And again, the main thing we were looking for here is that whole grain, more fiber, and the lower added sugar. Now, our best ones are going to be even plain oatmeal. People don't think about that as cereal, but it is just a grain that people eat kind of like they would a cereal product. And it can be instant, or it could just be plain oats. The plain oats would be what we would recommend for the best category because they're less processed, less added sugar. Any other best that you would recommend?
The grape nuts.
Yep.
Or kashi o.
Yeah, so those are all good. And again, high in fiber, low in added sugar, and high in protein. Now, some simple swaps that you could do to, like, say you loved Honey Nut Cheerios. What would be some things that you would recommend if they liked Honey Nut Cheerios and they wanted to make it a better version?
So you could take your plain Cheerios and then just drizzle some natural honey on yourself.
Absolutely. And the benefit of that is being able to, you can control how much sugar is added there. And so that's the benefit. Even though the honey is a sweetener, it's honey that you're adding on. So you can decide how much is being added.
And then my niece really likes Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So what would be like an option for her?
Yeah, so Cinnamon Toast Crunch could be something like plain Chex. Maybe you add some cinnamon spice onto it, and then you could add a little bit of maple syrup on top, and that would make it really sweet. Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorites is Fruit Loops.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Fruit Loops, we could also do some original Cheerios and then just put some fresh berries from the grocery store.
Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. So just as we're thinking about building like your kind of balanced cereal bowl, the criteria that we would use would be starting with that portion, right?
Portion of cereal, which can be about a fistful or so.
And that's a good way of thinking about it is your own fist, because like Leanne and I, we're in different bodies. We have different fists, just even us two. And so if you're thinking about like a 6'4" man compared to say like a 3-year-old child, their fists are obviously going to look very different because they need different portions. So use your fist and think about how much cereal we're going to start with.
Then,
you go ahead.
Then we want to think about our protein to help balance it. So whether that's the milk we're using, if we're pairing it with yogurt, or if we're adding nuts for protein.
Absolutely. And then we want to have some type of fruit source. The reason for that is that's going to give you extra fiber, extra antioxidants. The more color, the better, right? And then the last piece,
we could have some optional of a heart-healthy fat. So that could be from the nuts we use, or flax seeds, or any like seed toppings that would add a little heart-healthy fats.
Yeah, absolutely. And those are all going to bring some more fiber as well. So heart-healthy fats, more fiber, keep you more full and satisfied. And that's what we're trying to do with the best cereal option. So again, thanks for joining, and now you guys know what we would recommend as a dietitian's top pick for the best cereal. If you guys would like to learn even more, we'd recommend going to our website, www.sproutedappetites.com, and finding our handout on there. That's for purchase, but we would love for you guys to be able to print it out, use it, and be able to help get your family on board. But thanks for joining.